Yo, 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 yo. What's good, everybody?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Producer Lounge, brought to you by Always 400.
Wow.
As most of you know, this is a music production show where we're going to talk shit and music production the whole time. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our guest for episode 89, Inlakesh. Welcome, brother.
Welcome, buddy. Welcome.
Good to be here.
Hell yeah, it's good to have you, man.
Yeah.
Hell of an intro, Caleb. Damn.
I'm
You really brought out the voice today.
I'm doing my best Bruce, is it Buffett or Bruce Banner? Buffer? It's time! You know?
The Ready to Rumble guy?
No, his brother. The guy who does it for the UFC.
True.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Buffer. What's his brother's
no
name?
idea.
Who does it for boxing? It's Ready to
Michael.
Rumble. Michael Buffer. I think that's right. I think that's right. It's close.
I know sports.
Go ahead and fact check us on that, will you, Jamie? Thank you.
Thanks, Jamie.
Well, how are you, man?
Yeah, doing good.
Good, man.
It's like a blizzard outside.
Yeah, it's starting to
True.
snow. We're snowed in. I got my
Exciting.
jacket on.
Yeah, you
you're
gotta
gonna-
stay warm.
You're going to get hot in that shit. What are you doing, Caleb?
Man's not hot.
Do you want a blanket?
Man's
It's
never
not
hot.
I can get you my comforter.
Man's not hot.
Okay.
Okay?
Oh, yeah, you got a little fan over there. You're fine.
Listen here. Man's not hot. Man's never hot.
Yep. Man's not
It's
hot.
true.
You heard it here
That's right.
first.
Excuse me.
Are we
folks, I'm trying to
fully
figure out
through
the fan.
the initial part of the podcast
Sure.
at this point?
Do you want to talk about your week?
Yeah.
How was your week?
Pretty good. I got a bunch of grinding done on some new tunes and started a mix for some homies.
Let's go.
And
Big ups.
You got a new pair of
Yeah, I've been
earmuffs?
doing good. Ooh, yeah, I got some
Yeah.
new headphones.
Sheesh. Somebody
Yeah.
hit that. Sheesh.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was a good one.
Perfect. That's
Damn.
all it needed.
Best one ever.
That's the best.
Yeah, no, it's been very nice. We're in a nice rhythm right now, making some like shorter, mixable, quick tunes, whips for just the club, and it's nice to just hammer them out
Yeah,
real quick for
yeah.
a little while
Yeah, our main
instead of
project is
laboring.
our main project is a little house project, so we're trying to bang out these little quick boys that are just a dropping out.
Pure heat.
Trying to
Yeah.
get something new for the
Oh, nice.
the Party B show this Saturday, right? Right?
true.
Oh, sheesh. Bow buns and bungie.
Yeah.
Pretty sure you can just Google that and find it
Yeah,
if you're in the Denver area.
for the one or two people that watch this that are close by,
/
we're at Bow Brewery.
and free bow buns at midnight.
True. Yep.
I mean,
cool.
that's
That's
enough.
Sounds like a good week though.
That's enough.
You've been,
for me.
Yeah.
you've been putting in work.
Oh
That's,
yeah.
that's always good to hear.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's dope.
You guys really slack on the making music side of things.
Sometimes.
So I'm not surprised.
Excuse me?
I said rarely slack.
Oh. No, we
I
do.
heard
It's
differently.
better than usual right now.
Did it just sound like I was just talking shit? I was like, these fucking slackers
It's,
over here.
it sounded like you said they rarely make beats,
Oh,
is what it sounded like to me, but I just might have conflated.
I think you're already getting heat stroke, Caleb. You're not. You can't hear anything.
It's a
Aw,
pretty
bro.
poofy jacket.
Dude, I just found this at a thrift store this week, and I'm jazzed on it, dude.
Oh, okay.
It's like,
It's so huge.
dude,
It's
it's
so,
so
funny
big.
on camera.
dude.
It's
Okay,
like
here we're gonna sidetrack real
it's
quick.
really fucking poofy.
Look at this shit. If you look at this right here, folks, we'll bring it to you in a second.
Iron Man?
Yes.
Now I'm confused.
Look at the fucking jackets.
Oh,
The fucking. If I can get to
Give
large.
us a big shot here.
That's what I'm doing. Give us a big shot here.
Hey, big shot.
aha! I see.
Look at that one in the
Oh,
back.
Ghostface Killer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's Ghostface. Fucking. Oh my god. Capadonna and fucking Raekwon. Dude, this album is so good. It's
I don't think I've
so
ever listened
good.
to it.
It's so good. Of course, produced by the man RZA himself.
Hip hop heads, don't hate me out there.
But regardless of that, I saw this jacket and I was like, I have to have this jacket. Also, because I've been looking at jackets like this, but they're always like the Indians or like fucking. I'm not saying it like that, folks. Calm down. Or whatever their new name is. I don't even know.
Indigenous.
God damn it.
It's not sports related. It's just a fucking dope Nautica jacket. Dude.
Yeah. Does it help you make beats?
Yes.
Does it get you in the headspace?
Yes.
Nice.
And it's super warm, but not too warm because
Yeah.
men's not hot.
That's not hot.
True.
But anyways, what else were we talking about before we got distracted? By
Our
my
weeks.
sick
Our
How was
weeks.
your week?
My week was tight. She was sweet, dude.
Yeah. No heat stroke. That's good.
Nope, not yet.
Not yet.
Fucking made a weird ass track. Just off the top of my head, heard this one beat by Moab Deep. Shout out Moab Deep. And I was like, that's a sick like kick pattern. I just like the kick pattern was enough for me to be like, what the fuck, this is neat. And so I like kind of copied that and then just started running off with it, and it was fucking pretty neat. It has like a 303 on it and shit. It's all fucking neato burrito. And then this morning I found a TikTok that had the fucking best pre-drop vocal ever. And I
Yeah.
was like, fucking bet. And
That was a good time.
slapped that into a track that I had waiting for some vocal, and boom.
Yeah, we'll have to show you that after the pod. It's
Yeah,
it's so silly.
It's so funny.
It's so good.
Yeah,
That's cool, though. Good week.
badass.
Yeah. How was your week, my
Those are
guy?
good wins.
Anything productive? Anything cool?
It was a pretty good week. Doing like a beat a day, trying to get more consistency
Sick.
Word.
on things so that I can just create an idea and put it in the DAW as fast as possible.
Sure.
And just move on.
Right.
And then just working on that as much as I can.
Right.
And doing my other jobs, side jobs, stuff like that.
Right.
But it's pretty good. Everything's coming together and slowly taking over downtown. It's
Let's go.
gonna be pretty good. My friend just got a hotel license out there, so
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm helping him like build all those out and hoping to build a studio downtown eventually, and just because it's so close to like all the venues.
What hotel is this? Where did you buy this?
It's gonna be it's like around California
Oh, okay.
and Stout Street.
Oh, interesting.
It's gonna be cool. So just been working on my beats and building that out.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
That's what's up.
Is it like a just licensed a space in a hotel to do shows or something like that?
It's
Is that
like
what you're talking about?
buying out a high rise, like just slowly buying like every individual lease out of a high rise, eventually like owning the building.
Right.
That's fun.
Huh.
Oh, so you got a bunch of homies up in a specific area then?
Yeah,
Just one at a time. Everybody's
just
moving
just,
in.
just one homie, but a bunch of homies working to make it
Okay.
happen.
I love
just
that.
get
Cool.
just get
So
everyone in
they're
this
just
little.
buying
So
a bunch
fun.
of space in this building,
Yeah, just like real estate, just
and they're planning to use it for what? Cool shit.
I don't know.
Studios?
I was thinking like bring some rappers out and like
Sure.
go downstairs on the track, and then they've got their hotel room.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But we could also have other kind of studios, like podcast studios.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You could have like
Sure.
a bunch of shit in there.
That would
Totally.
be fucking awesome, honestly.
That'd be cool.
Just
Interesting.
opening up doors,
Yeah, no, for sure.
you
That's
know,
sick.
It's gonna be cool to like keep developing your community and your connections.
Right. It's a ongoing uphill battle.
Yeah, you just got to get to know everybody.
Yeah.
And like figure out what you could bring to the table.
It is kind of like that.
As easy as
It really is.
sounds, that is all it is.
It's the hardest part for me.
It's so hard. Yeah, I
Same.
fucking hate it. I fucking
Same.
hate it.
It's like, oh my god, oh my god.
Yeah,
But
meeting
Yeah.
everyone's a cunt.
like,
It's nice once you know people.
well, I mean, me,
Yeah, because then you're just homies, and then it's
yeah,
easy.
then it's like, oh, hey,
it's getting myself out
what's
of the
up,
studio.
dude? Fucking
Right. Yeah, what up, dude?
whatever the thing is.
Yeah.
And then happy times. But the fucking getting in there. is tough in the beginning.
Yeah, you got to be that
Yeah.
weird dude who's just like, hi,
Hey everybody.
Yeah.
I want to know everybody. How do I appear a way that you will accept me?
Right.
Yeah.
I
Or
s-
you're that like confident extrovert producer and you just roll out and you're like, "What's up, everybody? Oh, you're my homie now. You're my homie."
Yeah,
And it's
but-
like easy as fuck.
I
I
feel
think
like
that's the way to go.
I feel like that's
Yeah.
rare
Oh,
for
yeah.
producers though. Like
Exactly. Most producers are not that.
Yeah, they're introverts.
Yeah.
So you have to like do some Adderall or some shit. Yeah. And just be like, hi. You know?
It is nice once you
That's
get
exactly how
into
it
a
is.
conversation and you know what you're talking about.
Correct. That's why
Then you're just and you're in.
it's better just to
Yeah.
like sit in your basement for a while and not really concern yourself with knowing a bunch of people till you're like
Perhaps, yeah.
fairly competent to what's happening and you have heat to back it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh,
You
yeah.
know?
Yeah. I mean, I like this method.
Well, sure.
Yeah. It
We
seems
all
to
like
be the move, the slow burn method.
Slow burn method.
As we
feel
call
Shit.
it.
I feel like once you know everyone, though, it's like a self-sustaining thing.
Right.
You
Right.
know?
Totally.
As long as you're not an
So you
asshole.
just have to go through it.
If you're an asshole, everybody finds out pretty quick.
Yeah.
Everybody always thinks that assholes are at the top, and it's like, probably not.
Probably not.
Like, there's a couple, sure, once they got way up there, and then they were just like, fuck everyone.
Yeah.
But majority of the people climbing that are pretty high up, you only get there by being nice.
Yeah.
Like, you're not getting there if you're an asshole. You can get weeded out.
or you're
pretty
making
quick.
moves.
Yeah, or you're a
You
psychopath.
might be just
Yeah.
be making moves.
You
for
could just be a psychopath.
People need you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's a move too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But usually
be
they're not the
needed.
artist. It's usually like the promoter or like somebody else in the industry that's you need to know, but they're kind of an asshole.
Mm,
But like I feel like it's never really an artist at those upper echelons. In
Yeah.
like local circuits, yeah, there's plenty of just fucking absolute cunts.
sure.
It's fine.
I feel like it's kind of it is like annoying and awkward when you're at this point and you don't have any connections and you don't know anyone and like no
Mhm.
one's really a friend. But it is kind of fun in a way because like the world it's so open and there's so many possibilities.
Silent assassin, dude.
Silent
Silent
fashion.
assassin.
Yeah, there's so much potential and it's like I don't know, like one day we are all just gonna like be in the scene and we're gonna know everybody and we're gonna look back and be like, oh, you remember those days when we just are fresh off and we had no
Yeah.
idea what's happening?
Not only that, but you will be the scene. Because like
Sure.
as if you do it correctly, I would think like all of your homies together, you all like move into that echelon as like another
Mm-hmm.
crew kind of like moves out or into a different one, and so you are now the scene, like you and your boys that you've all
Yeah, things
Yeah.
change so
together.
fast.
There's classes.
yeah exactly.
You know?
There's 100%.
It's like comedians. There's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I came up with these guys.
right.
Oh, I came up with these guys.
Yeah.
And then eventually you leave the scene and somebody else takes it
Mm-hmm,
because you go,
and you do fucking international shows.
Yeah.
You start doing cooler shit like the next echelon of whatever you want to do. Depends on like, or you end up being just fucking I'm just produce tracks for video games and shit, and to you that's the fucking which honestly
mix
if-
tunes for people.
If you're making like $250K a year and you're just mixing for people and writing for like
That'd be sick.
low budget movies and video games, like
Yeah. Yeah.
sign me up, bro.
I want to do like the
Sick.
sound design for like
Oh, yeah.
fantasy games
Yeah,
and
well,
like
you
sci-fi
have like a
games and
whole
shit.
sound room where you just have like different shit on the ground that you're stepping on. You go outside to go
Yeah.
down to the creek to be like, oh, I need all this for these sounds and all this shit.
Yeah, here's whatever.
Bringing it back to the room and just
Be a Foley artist.
yeah, part Foley artist. That's only like one of your gigs. You do a
Right.
bunch of shit.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of avenues.
Yeah, you just need a bunch of microphones.
Yeah,
I guess just figure out what's best for you. Like,
totally.
Right, but there's plenty of options. Like you don't have to be the fucking DJ. You don't have to be Tiesto.
Totally.
And
right.
to be honest, I don't know if you want to be Tiesto. It's a lot of gigs, dude. That's a lot of gigs. Like,
That's a lot of
That is an
gigs.
insane amount of gigs, right?
Jesus Christ.
You want to be Skrillex.
correct.
Or you just get to do whatever
Just
the fuck you
whatever
want.
gigs you want.
Correct.
Whenever.
You just disappear
Yeah.
forever.
Correct.
Yeah.
And you're
Yes.
just like on giant hits, and you like ghost produce for people and just make shitloads of money. Yeah, dope.
Yeah, we all want something a little different. What's your aim?
Yeah, what's
in
your
all
aim?
this?
My aim is kind of like I don't have like a specific aim, but it's just like owning real estate, so that's kind of like self-sustaining in the background, so that I'm not like dependent on a music career to provide
Sure.
for me.
Mm.
I can just kind of do what Skrillex does, but I have my real estate that's taking care of me, and
Right. All the
you
shit.
know, obviously he's working off of his platform that he built. So you got to figure out like kind of what platform you're going to work off of is like a big deal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to be self-sustained or how it's going to work out for you. For me, it's kind of like that, because I know how to, I have those skill sets behind me to renovate, and the next step was to acquire houses, renovate them, and flip them. So that's kind of like what I have working on for me, because I'm relatively unknown, and
All right. You need a day job.
you got to have something like you have to have bread and butter to
Yeah.
like take care of everything behind the scenes, so
yeah.
you can have fun.
It costs money to produce.
Yeah, and I feel like when I'm in a stressful mindset, and things are uncertain, it's like hard for me to be in a state of flow where
Right.
I can just get my
100%.
ideas translated into Ableton and move on. It's like when I have a lot of stressful stuff going on in the background, tends to be more of like a headspace where you zone off, or where I zone off.
Right. Right.
And think about all these things that don't matter. And let's say you're stable and everything's working out in the background. It's like you can be present with your craft and your art. So
Totally.
I think like part of like your quality of music, it's completely connected to everything going on in your life.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Yeah, that's why I think it's better not to just try and rely on shows
100%.
when people are just like coming up. It's like, why are you worrying about that right now?
Yeah.
Like, make sure your art's really fucking good first.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Why release a turd?
but
Hey, yeah,
for
don't.
sure. But also,
You're gonna
like,
regret it in a year or two.
But also, like when you're year 2, you don't really know it's a turd.
Yeah.
You think it's sick.
Totally.
You're like, I made this thing,
And
this
it is like
sickest
relatively
thing.
sick. It's fine.
Yeah.
But like, imagine once you're like year 6,
Yeah.
year 8, like
Oh yeah.
you're probably
God.
gonna make some crazy fucking good shit, and then like you're undeniable,
Right.
which is like my whole thing. But also, there are those cases where people, start producing and then like have already been DJing and they didn't know enough people and they just
Oh,
start
yeah.
fucking.
All the time.
And they can basically make a living wage DJing a bunch as their day job while they produce. But like,
right.
I don't want to be that surrounded with it because it's going to burn me out. By the time I get so good at producing, I'm going to not want to DJ anymore because I've just done it so much.
Sure.
Yeah. Then
Kind of, maybe not. But
maybe it loses all the fun.
yeah, not if you're
Right.
Carl Cox. He'll just DJ till he fucking dies. But sometimes I like just like peace and quiet, and I don't want to fucking do that to pay the bills.
Yeah. A lot of people
Yeah.
come from it, from
Right.
DJing, and they just start learning how to produce because they love DJing, and it's like the obvious thing to do.
Right. I'm
And
not
then you're
hating
like
on it.
getting hooked on producing.
Right.
Yeah.
Like we have a few homies like that where we're just like, yeah, you caught the bug, bro.
Right. Right.
Like that's sick.
Welcome.
Like yeah, and it's fine. Like
Yeah.
they should go and keep doing the thing they're doing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm not trying to knock anyone.
yeah, all the angles are kind of fine. It's just like
right.
what,
It's just what you're comfortable with.
yeah, what do you
Yeah.
want?
Yeah.
What do you want your goals to be, and like how do you want to get there? Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And
A
how,
lot of people
And how
end up-
patient are you?
Right. A lot of people, I think,
Has a lot
they
to do with
build
it.
up on a project, and then they switch at some point to a new project name, but they've already done all the time
Right.
and have all the connections. So they are a DJ. They
Brills
yep.
into-
Oh, sure. Right.
into
LS
LS
Dream,
Dream.
yeah.
Yeah. He was able to just send it.
Yeah, he just immediately took a year off, made an album, and everybody was like, "Who is this?" They're like, "It's me." Yeah,
It's me. It's just a new project name.
The second
and
coming.
right.
It feels like it came out of nowhere.
Right.
Because
He's been
you're not-
working for
yeah.
10 years.
The idea is better. It's a
Yeah.
more thought out, full, like concise project thing where
Right.
you're like, oh, okay, I get this.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a thing you learn in time for sure.
Yeah. I was just
You
gonna
know,
say
you
it's-
can reinvent yourself if you want to and redo your own brand name and brand and all that jazz, or you can also just do a new thing.
I have done
Yeah.
it a bunch.
Yeah, same. I was in multiple bands.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
literally.
that too.
Right?
Like, that's the same shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Kind of, but it's more obvious when
It is more
when the
obvious.
band is dead.
They're
that
different
the
people.
project's dead. Yeah, yeah,
Involved, yeah.
yeah. I mean, I released under at least 3 different names before I was just like, oh wait, I'm just not going to produce. I'm not going to release. What am I doing?
I was checking out some of Flume before he was Flume. I forget exactly what it is, but it's like his name, The School Kid. It's Harley the School Kid. He produced under that project, and it was
Funny.
just like mainstream, like festival house EDM type stuff. And he released
a big
like
room.
kind of big roomy sometimes, yeah, more like melodic-y.
It's main stage,
Pretty,
like
yeah.
EDM,
Yeah.
house music.
And it was so funny to see that because like you look at the Flume project and like he's so not even close to that.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's great because that's how you learn. You just experiment a bunch and you try things and maybe you release a few, not the
Yeah.
best songs.
He grabbed a granulator.
Yeah.
He was like, I will create a whole project from
Right,
this
right.
for many years and make millions of dollars.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's there's a thing to be said for like producing without any kind of direction. Like you just like start producing and you're like, I don't know what I'm gonna make. I'm just gonna like make all sorts of random shit, and then you slowly start being like, oh, okay, I want to make a project that is rhythm or whatever the fuck, and then you start like cruising on that, as opposed to like coming in and just being like, I'm gonna learn how to make fucking like I don't know. Say a genre.
Dubstep.
Sure.
Or I
And
was
then you
thinking
just
like
Or
that.
rhythm again. Just coming
Rhythm
in
again.
straight in and being like, I just want
Sure.
to learn how to make rhythm.
Or like
And
we were just talking about all the DJs who start producing, like they're probably
Right.
making like, or they're probably DJing a lot of house. So
right.
they're like,
Or whatever they're DJing, that's what they start making with immediately.
Yeah.
Without any of the exploratory like years of being like, I don't
Yeah.
know what to make at all. Like I don't know which one's better or not. I mean, I guess it's just whatever the person needs.
just a
is what
different
happens.
path.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it's kind of a nice way to get into it from that perspective of
Sure.
like, I'm just going to make house music or drum and
Right.
bass or whatever the
Right.
fucking thing. Drum and bass. Hilarious.
Hilarious. I'm just
Imagine.
gonna make drum. I mean, if
I'm
you're in
a
the
drum
UK,
and bass
that's
DJ.
what it is.
I'm just going to start making drum and bass.
There is a couple of those guys.
The hardest shit.
Yeah. But if you're a killer, like one of these guys, he owns a label, and he just like decided he wanted to start making it, but he has like DLR and breaks as his like roommates,
Right. Yeah.
So
you
it's
have
kinda
all
like-
the homies
yeah,
around.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. They're just like, yeah, mate, you're gonna do this. No, turn it up louder.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that's like all my projects, like I get to like 80%, 85%
Sure.
completed. And then it's like there's something missing in the project. So it's not ready to release until I know what's missing, like what that project needs. And I think like what comes with experience and time in it is like you'll be able to know what each song that you're making needs and is missing.
Yeah,
Totally.
And
totally.
if you have people around you that have that experience and they're like, oh, your song, add a little bit of this to it, and it's gonna tie it all together.
yeah, just throw in this little thing. Oh, you just need a hook. That's
Yeah,
it, or like
that's all.
whatever.
or sometimes it's just no, it's enough.
Yeah.
Like you
Also
think
that,
you think
right?
it needs something, and
Or less of
somebody
this.
else, or somebody comes in, they're like,
Yeah,
no, this
less
bangs.
of is always a nice
Yeah.
one,
That's,
too.
that's usually
Like,
Yeah.
I
What
would
it
take
is.
this out. I'd take this out. Oh.
right.
And then all of a sudden,
It
I was
sings.
I was doing this mix and I was having that same thing where I'm like, all right, I got it sounding kind of cool, loud and clear or whatever the things are, and they've already done like a good job of making cool sounds and things. So I'm just mixing, but then I start chopping the audio down a little bit and making room for things that way, and you're like, now it's starting to bounce.
Yeah.
It starts
Yeah.
to bounce all heavy.
The
then.
bounce, dude.
Yeah.
That's-
Just gung, 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 gung.
Yeah, that's something that's been at like the front of my mind lately is just making things bounce. It's so fucking important. That's the thing that makes you groove,
Yeah.
It's so
It's
easy to
huge.
make things just like fucking, maybe not easy, but to just make something like slam and be loud and like really long, and like you think like, oh, I need to fill so much of the space to make it big and impactful, but like
No,
You don't.
you need the space.
you need that space.
Oh, big time.
Ugh.
Space is beautiful.
The lack of sound.
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
make the sound cooler.
Yeah, I've been making all of my basses and like the majority of my like melodic sounds just staccato and more like plucky, and you just get a nice little like boink, and then you float for a sec into like your hi hat or
the
your
snare
snare,
hits,
and then the
and
snare
it stops right before
and then,
that
and
snare
then hard
hits.
cut. Yeah, yeah.
I always feel
Yeah.
like the bass hits harder too, like because the human ear like gets used to like these noises as they're prolonged,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and so like adding silence allows your eardrum to like reset almost.
Right.
Totally.
Right.
I don't know if that's like scientific,
Totally.
but
Well, the air in the room even
Yeah.
changes
That's
because
true.
of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It's you're getting a wave and then you're getting a nothing.
it
And
also
then you get
allows the
another wave.
speakers, to
Yeah.
move with more
Get
power.
back to center, so
Zero
they can do
or
a
whatever it
full,
is.
Yeah, so they can do a full cycle again.
Mhm.
That because your ears want contrast
Yeah.
because they're just if too much of one sound and it's the same thing with your nose. Your nose doesn't really smell. I mean, this is over explaining it. I'm mansplaining right now.
Caleb mansplaining.
Dude, you are man.
Time for the Caleb Mansplain segment of the show. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
He is
Hey,
a
guys.
man.
My mansplain of the week is you don't smell. You don't really smell anything. You just smell the difference of things.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's
Thank
a good
you.
way to
Thank
think
you,
of it.
folks.
Wow.
Thanks.
Yep.
Thank you, guys. So I think it works similar with your ears.
Yeah.
Like the
100%.
contrast is huge
Yeah.
because
Contrast. We always talk
Huge.
about it.
yeah, my tracks just sound so much better when you just add like a little bit of like reverb to one thing, and then when you go into like a new 16 bar segment, now it's dry.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
it gets all tight up, and you're like, "Oh, sick." And then when it goes back to
Such a
the
good feeling.
reverb, you're like, "Oh, sick."
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
it's those little simple things that are just all the sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's just all of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like cooking.
Right.
You
Yep.
can't just throw all the spices together
Right.
and expect it to taste good.
No.
Right.
You have to like selectively choose and like proportion it all correctly.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and cook
Mhm.
things slightly longer than other things to get them fucking where they need to be. Time things differently. There's that bunch of different layers. All creative acts are like an onion, you know,
Like Shrek.
like
Scattered.
like Shrek 1, dude. All creative endeavors are Shrek 1 as hell.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are, dude.
When
They're
in doubt,
They're
think of
Shrek one
Shrek.
for sure.
Dude.
Yeah. So Shrek one of
Where
you
did
to
they
say,
pull
dude.
that out of?
That is Shrek 1 of me to say for sure.
Yeah,
That's
it is-
hella Shrek 1.
It is Shrek one for me to say. It's too hard for me to say. Shrek one
Dude.
of you to say.
Shrek wanted me to say.
Dude, Shrek, dude.
What a
I think,
Shrek 1 moment we just had. That
What
was
a
beautiful.
Shrek one moment. Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks everybody for being a part of that.
Will be the title of this episode, Shrek one.
Shrek 1. This is a Shrek 1 episode.
They
There's
just came
a-
up with that out of a hat, and 20 years later, we're still
Right.
talking about
Right.
it.
Yeah. God.
We will be.
Yeah.
That's because Shrek 1 is Shrek 1 as hell.
Yeah.
It
It's
is.
like the most Shrek 1 you can
very
get.
Shrek
It's
1.
the most Shrek one you can get.
Dude.
Mm-hmm.
If only I could make like one song that's like Shrek 1 level.
Oh my
Just
God.
one.
I'm
Can you
working towards
imagine?
it.
Yeah.
I'm working towards
Reaching
it.
We
Shrek
can
one
make
level.
that song.
Just one. Just one.
Part
Yeah.
of
I'd
We
like
can
to
make
make
Shrek
like
1.
3 or 4 or 5. That'd be great. But
Mhm.
like if all you can get is the one, you made it. Like that's good.
Yeah,
You
that's
made it.
that's S tier.
You Shrek one. Like, yeah.
Shrek 1 is
Shrek
S tier.
one. He is.
Shrek 1 is just a synonym of the word S tier.
Yeah.
Right.
S tier stands
Yep,
for
yep.
Shrek tier.
Correct tier.
Like,
but it's
yeah.
Shrek 1 tier. It's not just Shrek tier. Because Shrek 2 is not Shrek 1.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
I would like to make a song that is just lists of all of the best movie within a trilogy or a series or whatever. I don't know.
Just
I
like
don't know what the
ranked-
famous Star
ranked in
Wars one
order.
is.
Yeah.
But, Shrek 1. And then you go with the fucking
Right.
Empire Strikes Back or whatever the fucking thing
Sure.
is.
Right.
You just keep listing off.
You go
But
Nemo.
You don't explain it.
Yeah.
No.
You
It's
just
They have to
there.
figure
You
it out
throw
themselves.
it out there.
Oh my God.
It's a bunch of random movie names.
That'd be funny.
But everybody's
Sounds
always
beautiful.
like, man, that is a banger movie. Oh, that is a banger movie. Wait, that is a banger
Yeah.
movie.
And then when the next one, everybody's like, it's going to be Empire Strikes
Oh,
Back.
yeah.
I fucking knew it. You know? I fucking agree.
That's the pre-drop. That's where everything
Just get
cuts out. And you're like,
arguments started
Empire
in the
Strikes
crowd.
Back. I know, right? Right?
No, it's the fucking, the pre-drop is like, it's Phantom Menace. And then it's, ba ba ba-da-ba.
Oh my god.
Oh, he knew what he was doing when he composed that.
Oh.
He's like, they're done.
Yeah. I'm about
Yeah.
to slaughter a
Owned it.
generation
Oh
of
my
men with one of the most epic sounding things on planet Earth. Whoever did the Halo theme did the second best.
Yeah,
Because that shit is so fucking good. Dude.
yeah. They just don't make that quality anymore. I
Dude.
don't know why.
I know,
Holy
right?
smokes. When you can like play 2 notes or 3 notes on just like the right instrument or the right vocal mic'd correctly and everything's just like on point and it just emotionally like destroys like 90% of humans who listen.
Yeah,
That's some Shrek 1 tier fucking
Some
That
Shrek
is
1 tier
producing.
shit.
It is.
One
Shrek
tier.
1 tier producing.
God.
Yeah.
Which is basically what Disney has. If
Yeah.
you like ever watch their movies, there'll be like a stupid moment and you're like, what the fuck? What the fuck is happening?
that's why I
Yeah.
just cut Disney off.
Nice
why is the
piano.
sound?
God, right? Yeah, Disney,
Why- yeah.
Pixar.
Stop
Just-
playing with my emotions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just the sound comes, that's the little melody comes in and immediately you're just like,
Dude,
stop it.
Right? We were talking in the garage about psychological warfare.
Yeah.
Disney and Pixar have
Yeah.
mastered that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh,
they
you want
fuck
the
up.
cutest little tiny sidekick thing? I'll make the like dumbest, doofiest little poof thing.
But then also have the best composed little line.
Yeah,
So
right?
then when they play it in a minor version, when the little thing dies, it rips your heart to
You're
shreds.
done. You're done
It's
for.
just like, and you're
Yeah.
dead, minor.
Yeah, I think it's.
You know, like just
I think Walt was like CIA or something.
for sure.
Like he wasn't working alone.
I mean, just
No way.
years in the industry. He just knew all the boys.
He's like, I am the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like
He
right
wa-
out the gate.
Yeah.
He
He's
was,
like,
dude.
you want how many Shrek
We
ones
made
do
a
you
couple
want?
deals.
Yeah.
You know?
Made a couple deals.
Made a couple deals.
Smoked a couple million cigarettes.
Yep.
Bought up some property.
I mean, to be fair, Walt did it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Walt fucking destroyed. Bless up,
Had
Walt.
to have a little help. I swear.
Bless
Dude.
up, Walt.
Had
Walt-
to. Yeah.
Walt
Something
Sweet.
weird's going on over there,
Walt
right?
is
He's just
nice.
the fall guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Walt is sweet.
Yeah.
Walt is sweet.
Walt is sweet.
That's why he had his body frozen in nitrogen or whatever.
Yep.
He's like, I'll
Walt
come
talk.
back. I'll see y'all in 2050.
Wow, what good Walt talk we just had.
Riveting.
Dude, does anybody have a tip of the week?
I kind of already talked about it. Do you have one? You usually come prepared.
No.
If not, it's
I can make one up.
oh yeah,
I have
Caleb.
one, and guess what? We're going to do it in the DAW.
Oh.
In the DAW.
Nice.
Wow.
In the dog.
We're getting our hands dirty today, everyone.
Folks, we're going to hop into the DAW.
It's about time.
Do we have a sound effect for this?
No.
Always 400.
Yeah.
We do. He just forgot where it was. Don't pay attention to that, folks.
Yeah, I like the future. They're just going to be like, damn, 4 people watching?
What are you talking about?
The Shrek One Level podcast.
Dude,
Yep.
we are S tier.
Y'all
Yeah.
should feel good. I mean, like the church live stream I do, there'll be like max like 5 people on it.
Yeah.
So
That's how
like,
it starts, man.
major,
That's how it
major
starts.
success.
And that's a church.
Yeah.
yeah. That's a church.
All right,
All right.
Caleb. What you got in store for us
We're going to
today?
hop
Huh?
into the old... I don't know why it's doing that. That's fine.
This is just bougie Ableton.
Goddamn right it is.
It's cheaper.
Yeah.
It's cheaper, bougier, and better.
Yeah, but you know, like
Bougie
they run off the
Ableton.
name though. You know, it's all about the Ableton brand.
Yeah, but
You
that's
know,
like saying the PGA is great, but the PGA is just ran by like old white men.
Is
who
that golf?
fucking- Yeah, yeah.
It's no
It's
Live
damn
or
right.
whatever the fucking.
Damn
Ableton's
right.
like, we
Yeah.
got Max. What you got?
Yeah.
we're still the best.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Dude, I could go on for days about how much
Oh my
Bitwig's
God.
better. But
Can you group
And
in
we
groups
have. So
on
Yeah.
go
Bitwig?
back and
Yes.
How many groups can you group?
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. How many?
here, how about we
Oh,
just
man.
add a random modulator
Is this your
to
tip of
whatever
the
this
week?
is, and then let's just add another random modulator. Let's just add a random and another random and another random. How's your max for live now when I can just keep adding?
It does look pretty good.
Just modulator after modulator. Oh wait, I want it over here.
How is their random? Because I'm not the
It's
biggest fan of the
beautiful.
LFO random
It's great.
in Ableton.
Beautiful, dude. You can go
I
straight to
could
Hertz.
work the Ableton one, but
Yeah, you
yeah,
can work it.
I can
you
work
can work
it,
it.
too, but
these are nice though. Some sweet randoms.
It's just the Excel spreadsheet of DAWs.
Yep.
no, that's
Yep.
that's definitely Ableton.
Yeah.
So let's go in here and let's make a phase plant patch, guys.
Oh, there we go.
Phase
Right.
plant.
We're just going to talk about movement in your bass patches
Oh, let's go.
because everyone's
I
boring.
am interested in this.
Everybody's boring.
This is what I call going into the weeds.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Dude, we're going in.
That's what this podcast
but
is all about.
the weeds
Yeah.
is where the details are.
Yeah.
But you have to.
I've heard that saying before.
You know, you got to cut out.
This is
Yeah.
what Skrillex does. He
Yeah, you go into the weeds.
goes in the weeds.
You have to. You
Yeah.
got to continually do it too.
So we're gonna make a
Deeper and deeper.
Can't tell you how many mud pies I've made in the weeds.
Oh, yeah, that's
you're,
where
you're a mud pie fan.
that's
Let's
where
go.
mud pies are made.
That's like, you know,
Mud
you're
pies are made in the weeds.
gonna
Yeah,
you're
that's
gonna
true.
have at least a terabyte of mud pies,
Yeah,
and just like, oh my god, why do I even have this?
Yep.
because
Yep.
it's practice.
Yeah.
It's practice.
Mud pies typically do have some weeds in them, you know?
Right.
And there's a flower here and there, you know?
Occasionally.
Yeah.
So let's make
Shouldn't
this a
throw away all
saw
your
wave.
work.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm gonna.
Dude, so
move
much
this
movement.
down to
How do you do it?
24. So I can just play the same note. That sounds cooler. So, simple. We're gonna turn on the second oscillator to a sub, so we have a fundamental that's more secure.
Secure.
And let's go ahead and distort it.
Yeah.
What is that, like a
Distortion?
Duh. Because duh. We need to also make this go down. All right. Let's also turn this down a little bit.
Put that multi-band on it.
We're not going to go too crazy. We're not going to go too far in the weeds here. We're just going to basically
The simple weeds.
use
The subtle weeds.
Yeah.
Let's do it like this. This will be easier. Let's do a whole bar. Oops. We're just going to make this whole thing play real nice and long.
Volume modulation.
Yes.
Got some wobble now.
It's a wobble bass.
Just a basic movement so we can get the whole thing kind of
Look at it go.
moving a little bit. And then we're going to add a
Was this what
another-
you were telling me about you were doing with that one tune the other day? Never mind.
Maybe. I think this might be an evolved version.
Sweet.
Oh, wait. We don't want this.
I think the hardest thing to wrap my mind around was how to modulate everything together. Like, so it
Oh, yeah.
all sounds like a instrument with the
In,
modulation.
yeah, like it's at a speed where it all hits in the right moment or whatever.
Yeah.
You're using the same LFO for a bunch of different things or
Mhm.
paying attention to speeds and random shit like that.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like when you start thinking more musically, you can like make these instruments musical and
Totally.
really
right?
start layering on the modulation.
Oh, yeah.
and
That's what it's all
Yeah.
about.
like start creating mod wheels
Dude,
So-
that's something I never mess with. I should mess with that more.
because then you can like play that mod wheel as an instrument
Yeah, right?
and you just like play one note and then turn the mod wheel.
Yeah. Yeah, right? Or if like you have like a little phrase with your bass line or lead or whatever, and then You have a long legato note, and you just play
Yeah.
with the mod a little. God, I always forget mod wheels are your thing. Damn.
I almost like want to make a checklist. Like, did you do a mod wheel?
Right? Right?
Do you have at least
Right,
five
right.
modulations?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
When you do your own sound design, do you
Whoa.
typically have like a bunch of different LFOs routed to separate things to create like a evolving sound, or are you kind of like the one LFO, one modulator kind of guy?
I'll do like one LFO and then I'll layer another one, and I'll just keep going until I start. If I'm getting too far away from the sound I'm looking for, obviously I stop.
Tone it back a little.
But
Too deep in the weeds.
kind of just like, see if you can keep like making this sound closer and closer to what's in your head. And
Oh, so you kind of you do that a lot, where you like have a sound in your head and you try and replicate it.
yeah, and,
Damn,
like,
that's wild.
but most of
I
those
can't do that.
most of those sounds in your head, like it's not like you just initiate it out of nothing. Like you'll hear something throughout life, and then that
This
will like
is
create
where it
that
evolved.
sound.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then being able to like express that sound into like phase plant or like serum or
Right, it's
whatever,
like learning
whatever
an instrument.
wavetable. Yeah.
You know,
Totally.
The nice thing about synthesizers is it's like learning it's like learning an instrument where every instrument's the same fingerings.
Right.
Yeah.
So you
Piano.
learn one synth, and then you realize like, oh, all synths are the same. Here's the oscillators. Here's the signal flow,
Yeah.
how it all goes
It's like
together.
a guitar.
And then when it doesn't have a filter in between the oscillators or something, you're like, oh, dang it. Just because you know now that
Right.
there's synths that do it better
Yeah.
or this or whatever, you
Sure.
can kind of figure out which one you like because now you realize what you need to make the sounds you want,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is why phase plant's the shit because it just can do fucking everything.
Yeah. It's pretty deep.
It's so sick.
Shout out Phase Plant.
So, here we have this basics sound where I have this saw. It's pulsating on threes.
The volume of it is.
It's still pretty simple, but that alone is more movement than I hear in a lot of fucking shit. And then this
True.
this right here, saw this on a little tutorial, and I was
Oh
like,
yeah,
oh
filter
shit.
is dope. Yeah.
Just something simple like that on an oscillator, while the other ones
Yeah,
like
so
that's
it's
which
because you have a sub
right.
that's carrying the low end, and then that saw is more providing that high end stuff anyway.
And there
So-
being like 3 different types of movement happening, like your main body, something kind of like overall that's kind of helping pulsate, and then something that's evolving over the course of this sound just in the high end as opposed to the bottom end. Like having those 3 elements in any kind of given sound is you're bound to have a pretty nice like humanized sound. Like it's like it doesn't have to be crazy. It doesn't have to be moving all over the place, but having something that's going to affect all of those, like the body, the overall like
super
fucking
basic movement.
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, the overall frequency spectrum, and then something that helps the high end. Like those kind of 3 things, and you're going to have a much better sound overall.
Yeah.
And then from there, you can fucking go absolutely nuts,
Oh, a little Comey boy.
and then just kill it.
Yeah. This is stuff once you learn like what each one of these modules are. It really unlocks like production.
Jesus, right?
And being able to create sounds on the fly.
Yeah. Yeah. You realize how much like potential
it's not
is
gonna do it
there.
right now.
Yeah. I think when I started production like 4 years ago, like I only knew what an EQ was. I didn't know what compression was.
Sure.
Once I actually learned what like threshold and attack and release are, it's like I could really shape my sound sonically and like make things however I wanted.
Oh yeah, it's huge. It's there's definitely a moment, I think, a crossroads you get to. I mean, this kind of is with any art or any pursuit where the bullshit meets the road. Where you're like, okay, we've been having fun up to this point, and you're like intrigued by it. It's kind of like you're like, I want to be an engineer, like as a kid, or like I want to be an astronaut, and then you realize like, oh, you have to be an engineer. which means you need lots of math and you need lots of science and you need this.
Then you
and
need lots of
do
physical
all these fucking
training.
things. Yeah, and so it's like, are you going to do that? And either you're going to be like, fuck yeah, or you're going to be like, no, I decided actually this isn't for me.
I don't really want to be an astronaut.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing like with music production. You'll spend like a year just kind of dicking around making beats and you're like, oh, this is fun. And then you're like, all right, there's only one real way to like move to the next step. I need to start like looking at videos about what an actual compressor is. Like I
Yeah.
have no idea what that fucking
Yeah.
thing does.
Yeah.
Right.
I need to figure out why when I put reverb on things, it makes it sound good, but then my mixes are quiet. Like I need to figure out like all
Or
these
muddy
kind of like
or like whatever.
yeah, all these little
Oh, yeah.
intricate little details that you have to learn on the way. Like these aren't things you can just get away with. Like these are just the hard truths that separate the people who actually want to move on to the next plateau or not, which it's kind of the same with every plateau as you're a music producer. Like if you want really good mixes, there's some truths that you're going to have to learn about how audio works.
Yeah.
And either you're going to
Oh yeah.
fucking research that shit and figure it out, or you're gonna just like keep being like, no,
Guess.
my mixes are fine, and like keep guessing. Yeah, and like
Yeah.
maybe you'll hit it.
Or you just
Yeah.
pay someone to mix it.
yeah,
You hit a
or
threshold and
or
you're
you
just like,
pay
yep.
someone.
I
Right.
love something we talk about a lot is with music, it's like so seemingly almost just infinite how much you can learn and how much deeper you
Right.
can go. Like you're learning and you're climbing up the cliff and then you think you reached the top and it plateaus a little bit and you're like, oh yeah, I figured it out. And then you realize when you get to the top, there's like a whole nother thing over here.
Yeah.
When you
Dude.
get to the top of that one, like who knows what's above that? Maybe that's unexplored territory
It's-
that no one's
it's
gone.
Basically, the like synthwave cyberpunk car driving towards the sun with the
And you
palm trees.
never reach it?
and you never get there. But the ride is sick.
Yeah, look at that view.
The
Like,
whole time,
goddamn.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude, it's sick. And the whole time, just you know, you're just listening to '80s themed psytrance, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
But you know, it's great. I love it, so I don't give a fuck. But
Yeah.
that is music production. It never ends, and it kind of, for lack of a better term, gets harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's an onion. Like as you make it through more layers, there's more layers to pay attention to. So it just gets, and as you discover a new layer of how to make it sound better and get more creative, you don't want to like let an older layer go to waste.
Right.
Oh,
I
you can't let it brown out.
No, you still got to fucking use those techniques. You still
Yeah.
want to fucking utilize everything you've learned up to this
Yeah.
point to get the best quality product you can at this point. So just every time, every new mix is a harder mix, kind of. Like, there's more things to pay attention to.
Right.
I know,
right.
right?
It's kind of fucking weird.
Basically, just don't stop producing, and,
No,
and you'll
no.
get good.
But take
Yeah.
breaks.
Take breaks. Yeah, burnout is real. That burnout's when you
100%.
stop enjoying.
Yes.
When you stop enjoying the product, the process.
Yeah.
it's
Right.
like that's when you know you need to take a break.
Yeah.
Yeah, breaks are really good. Have you taken any huge breaks since you started? Like month, 2 months, anything like
I
that?
took like 3 months out in Maui.
Oh, yeah. So when you were
Yeah.
out there, you weren't producing at all?
I mean, I fucked around here and there in Ableton, you know, just
Sure.
to
Make sure it was still there?
but it wasn't like, oh, I want to produce. Like,
Sure.
You know,
Okay.
it's like more like this is just I'm going to do an exercise
Nice,
every
good.
week, you know, so that I have all my bases covered. But
Good.
what's amazing is like my life away from the studio and the DAW. Like I'll get more ideas flowing through my head away from the studio. Outside of that, like the further I get out of that environment, the more these ideas come to me. And I think, you know, finding a way to record your ideas, you know, or make a note of it while you're out there
Yeah.
so that you can bring it back with you into the studio. Because,
100%.
you know, the studio, you know, it could be hard to get inspired in the studio
it's-
sometimes.
Yeah, it can be pretty sterile.
You know, but it's supposed to be sterile. It's supposed to be a flat environment.
Right, of course.
You know, so it's really good to, you know, have a healthy balance in your life, you know, and I think like, you know, making music, being a producer, it's like, you know, when you start going to the gym and like you see people that have like gone to the gym their whole life and they're just like completely built. And then it's like the first thing you think is like, oh, I want to be like that. And then you work out for 2 weeks and you're like, I'm not like that yet.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm just gonna give up.
I love this
Seen no
talk.
progress yet.
I love this talk.
Yeah.
Let's
It's
go.
like
Yeah.
Producers
Preach.
are bodybuilders.
if you stop, you won't achieve anything.
Amen,
You know,
brother.
basically. So you just got to keep at it, but also like take your breaks, but have the ability to pick yourself
Oh
back
yeah,
up,
you can't
know?
give up. There
And-
is no giving up.
You know, sometimes like, you know, if you operate out of a place of fear, you know, you're fearful of like what other people think about, you know,
Right,
about
sure.
you. That's going to also stop your creative process. So
Mm.
you just really got to focus on figuring yourself out and like what works for me, what do I enjoy, and
Right.
other people will enjoy that. And it's like it's almost guaranteed that other people are going to like what you like.
Oh, people love authenticity.
Yeah.
It almost has nothing to do with the product.
Dude.
If you're up there and you're loving it and it's something weird, people are like,
Yeah.
"Did we just discover the new thing?"
Yeah.
You know, that's all that matters.
Totally.
Like-
What's cool is you could be like the skinniest, scrawniest guy in the gym, but you could be friends with like the biggest guy in the
Oh
gym.
yeah.
And that guy could tell you how to become like him.
Those are like that's
You
how
know.
I figured it out when I first started working out. I don't remember what it was. I was doing something and I asked for a spot. And the first guy I asked didn't answer, and he seemed like a normal dude. And I was like, dang it, the fucking guy, the only guy in here who looked like a normal guy didn't want to spot me. Now I feel like I'm an asshole, and I have to go ask the giant dude. The giant dude's a teddy bear.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
He spent the entire time explaining to me technique and shit, and I was like,
Fuck yeah.
duh.
That's
It's like
sick.
Fuck.
opens my
fuck any prejudice. You have to just go to the guys who are good.
yeah.
Who fucking cares? Like
Yep,
that's just the
right.
bottom line.
Yeah, and they're most likely gonna say like, you know, you got to focus on you
Right.
and your
right.
state.
Yeah.
Like-
Oh yeah, they're going to be the nicest, most genuine people you've ever met.
Mm-hmm.
Like the people who are good and have suffered through their own creative process or process, you know, doesn't really matter. They're usually going to be like, no, it's you just got to focus on you.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah,
Figure out your own creative spark.
Right.
That was actually
And
when we
keep
had
grinding.
when we had Nyquist on the pod. Shout out Derek.
Derek.
He was the last one of 2022, and we all made like a New Year's resolution for production.
Oh yeah.
And the thing he said was he wants to compare. He wants to start comparing himself less to other artists.
Mm.
He was saying like he compares himself a lot, and he gets into that weird headspace of like, oh, but they can do this better. They're doing this better, or they're further along in their career. They're playing
Sure.
these shows and whatever. And it's like we know him. Like homie's making like sick ass tunes.
Yeah.
You know? He's like
Yeah.
slaying it. But yeah, that's something that like
Yeah,
I feel
we're
like
all-
everybody
We're all on our own path.
we're all on our own path. Yeah.
yeah.
In art, you can't really do that. You can't really compare yourself unless you
Yeah.
both started the same day and you had the same private teacher. And like
Sure.
good fucking
You
luck.
still-
Who really
you
knows
still
what's good or
don't,
bad?
though.
yeah.
and-
You
Yeah.
still can't.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
that's dumb.
What you got to do is outpace
Correct.
that motherfucker. You
Yeah.
know?
Correct.
You started the same day, same teacher. You got to fucking.
Guess what?
You got to
Exactly.
put the work in a
Yeah,
little harder.
exactly.
And then
Exactly.
since you
Beat
guys
him
are
out.
homies, maybe he's like, oh, he's working.
Correct.
I'm
No,
gonna
he's your
level it up
arch rival.
even more. Yeah.
Correct.
You
Yeah.
will defeat him.
And you get like
No.
a friendly fucking back and forth
you
going.
need the little bit
yeah.
of competitive spirit is real nice.
Ooh,
when
yeah.
you're
Yeah, that's
creative.
positive.
It's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
Don't defeat yourself thinking like, oh, this person's better than me. It's
No,
like
it's
who
got-
knows what's good or bad.
And
Like,
Yeah.
the whole environment the whole crew has to kind of form the environment that is like, no, it's constantly chill, but you're gonna come home from work and we're all already in the DAW. Like you got to get down there.
Yeah.
Take your shower
Guess
quick
what?
because there's already beats being made in the house.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. RZA said a similar thing with Wu-Tang where he was like, when they were early on, before they were fucking, Wu-Tang, and they were
Sure.
gigantic, he was in the studio with everyone, and he was like, yo, like we all should be representing and being the best we can, and we should try our best to outshine each other, but at the same time, we all have to move as one unit, kind of thing. Where it's like, yeah, be the best you can, like try and be like, yo, what's up? Catch me, like
Right,
show me up,
right,
kind of thing.
correct.
But then we're all here together, like trying to lift up fucking this
Right.
massive thing that is Wu-Tang. Or at the time, it was just a little thing, but
Right.
now,
Now
Yeah.
I'll fucking stab you.
Yeah.
yeah, protect your neck.
Hey.
yeah, that's called appreciation. When
Right.
you keep pouring your soul into it, regardless of what you think others will think about it, eventually the recognition will happen where people see it as something high value.
Right.
And so you you really got to pour that energy into yourself and kind of like shut out the negative, inner talk and just
Correct.
because that's like a biggest like flow block in my opinion. It's like not anything else other, there could be all sorts of things going on, but that
Right.
inner talk is what really like stops it.
I 100% agree. I'm going to add a caveat though.
Okay.
I think it's 50% inner talk, 50% being brutally honest with your own shit.
Yeah.
I agree.
You have to be like,
It's not a caveat. That's
You-
the cavity.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
have to be like, why is this not as good as my reference
Yeah.
or whatever? You have to be able to notice where your chinks in your armor are and figure out where to make it better. You can't just be like, oh, I'm just going to make another beat and like not try and learn from the one you just made. You have to constantly be like, why didn't it exactly hit like I wanted it to?
Right.
Like you have to do that self-learning and self-criticism or else you're never going to get anywhere. Because you're going to try and send stuff to people and they're like, no, this isn't very good. And you're like, what are you talking about? I've been doing it for 8 years. It's like, yeah, but you haven't been honest with yourself for 8 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's a tough spot.
Like, that's rough. Yeah, that
Yeah.
sucks. I would hate for anyone to be there. But there's people there.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I remember like one of my first mixes, like the kick, you couldn't hear the kick because it was just all sub, and it was
I know
actually Nyquist was like, oh yeah, just sidechain it with your compressor like this, and you can like you can tweak how it responds,
Sick.
and now it's like all my drums are punchy all the time because I know how to move the sound and cut
Right.
space in my mix, and it's like before I didn't know that was even a
Right,
thing.
right. But
Yeah.
you had to kind of,
Yeah.
like, it helps to have other people around to help show things. That's why we're here, folks.
Yeah.
Hit that subscribe button. Sheesh. Also,
Big sheesh.
it starts with you, though. Like, I'm never going to stop preaching this on this goddamn show. Is like,
Preach it.
It starts with your own honesty.
Yep.
Like, don't fucking submit a track to a feedback channel when you know it's not good. Like, you know you have work to do, and you know you can do that work on your own. You know you can look up videos. You know you can sit there and, like, download a free metering plugin or a free span frequency analyzer.
Yeah.
And you can, like, learn how to read it and figure out, like, what pink noise is in that curve. Like, there's Google searches you can get to within 10 minutes that's going to help you to the point where now you just have to sit there and work. Now that you know all these other things, you can just sit there. You just got to pick the right sounds.
And then when you get to the best point that you can with your ability, if you send it back into the feedback stream, like be
Yeah.
willing to accept that feedback.
100%.
You know, if they tell
100%.
you your kick could hit harder or you're a little muddy in this region, like
Yeah.
it might suck because you're fucking pumped on this track that you just put
Yeah,
whatever amount of
but-
time into. But
That's
We're-
not a big deal though. Mud and the kick not hitting.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can
It's easy to
easily go
fix.
back and fix that.
Yeah.
And
Right.
like, we're not. This isn't football. Like, we're not trying to like do a better play than our buddy did.
yeah,
It's not about that. It's about just like being the best you can and making the best art you can. So you should be stoked when somebody's like, "This, I think, would make it better.
Yeah.
Like, you should try it."
yeah,
It's probably gonna be sick, especially if they're an established artist.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Especially
what I'm looking for.
Like,
Like,
right.
right,
how do I take this to the next level and finish it?
right. I understand.
And it kind of makes sense why, like, in the past, like, the producer would hand off to a mix engineer who'd hand it off to a mastering engineer, and then they'd like talk back and forth, and through that process, you'd get like more consistent results.
Correct.
Totally.
So,
Right.
Creating a network is like really important to this because ultimately, like, people are going to listen to your music on a network of some form, and establishing connections, going where you can get these connections, or going to school even and finding people at school, or like going to venues and just meeting with the DJs. It's like
Yeah,
do
weird
whatever
how
you
we
need
met.
to do.
Weird.
Yeah.
People are always like, how do you like fucking get out there and meet people? It's legit. It's that you just go to clubs and like go to the spots where the music you're trying to make is being played, and you just try and meet people.
Or just having any sort of intention where you're like, I want to meet these people. Like, because I didn't meet you guys at a club
Well,
by
that's
any
true,
means.
too.
I met you in a very weird
But
way.
we're-
Sometimes
but-
it just happens.
Yeah, but
Sometimes
also
it just
you weren't-
happens.
Like, we're trying to meet people in the club scene, And in the last 4 months, we've met a lot of people in the club
You
scene.
have made it happen.
Because
Yeah.
we've just gone to the club, like we're tired, we got to work the next day, but we're like, we're gonna go
Yeah.
and we're
Oh,
just
a
gonna fucking
Thursday
do our
event?
best.
Okay, here we go.
And we just do the work, and it ends up working out. Like you just, it's exactly that.
If you're a good person.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Again,
That's
just being
central.
honest and being true with your intentions.
Yeah, that is very central. You have to, like we were talking about earlier. We've gone full circle.
Not being overbearing with
People
your
will figure you out
goals.
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Don't
know,
be
like you
annoying.
actually want to make friends.
Yeah.
Like not.
Yeah, it can't be.
It's not all about the connections.
Yeah.
It is a lot about making friends because there's a bunch of dope people to meet out there.
You could
These are your peers in the scene.
You
These
could
are the
say
people.
the connections that you want to make are friends.
Yeah.
That's what it should be.
Yeah.
It should be, because if you're trying to get into this and you're being like, I want to get in this because I don't want a real job or whatever. Like, well, if you get into this just to make connections, to like stand on people to get to the next level, you're just making yourself a job.
Right.
You're doing the
Yeah.
exact same thing you don't want to do. Like, if you make friends, now it's fun.
Yeah, then it's fun. Yeah.
Now it's no longer a job.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you're just hitting up your friend, and it's way easier.
You make a genuine human connection.
Right. And it's not really that hard. Everyone's weird and awkward, folks.
Yeah.
Don't worry. It's not hard to get off the internet.
And with artists, especially, like we're talking to a bunch of artists, like
You just
We're
got to
all-
do it.
We're all
you just gotta
introverts.
do it.
It's
You
super
gotta do
weird.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a quick awkward moment in the smoking area, and then it's over, and you're talking about which DAW you use.
Yeah.
It's super easy.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
And then you're
"You wanna
talking
try
about
this meth, and you're like,
Yeah.
You got to watch out. You got to watch out.
then
for
you're talking
the-
about psychedelics and
Watch out for the
conspiracy
cat
theories and whatever.
On that note, folks, this has been episode 89.
Wow.
amazing.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you so much for being here, man.
please
This
put your
was
hands
great.
together for Inlakesh. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Thank you.
I like
Yeah.
what you're doing.
Yeah, we're fucking out here just trying our best. This is what we're talking about.
You're applying what we just talked about.
Yes.
Yeah,
right.
yeah, totally.
Yeah. We've been
Totally.
doing this for. Are we coming up on 2 years? Yeah, we're coming up on 2 years.
Yeah.
There's really
In
no more
April.
excuses to
No.
not do
No.
something. I mean, anybody could have videos and live streams. You know, anybody can put themselves out there.
Yeah.
But it's like, why do so many people not do it? Is because
Well,
they don't exercise that.
yeah, and
Yeah.
like
Or that you're scared, which is
Yeah.
okay.
we're
It's
still
okay to
getting
be
like
scared.
5 people in here after like almost 2 years, but like honestly, if you look at the episodes, it's only 89. Like most people in their head, anything sub 200 is like a new podcast.
Yeah. And we definitely had moments, you
So,
know,
like-
where shit happens.
Yeah,
Like,
and
it's random.
for me, when I find a podcast and I'm like, oh, this is sick, and they're on episode 500, I start going back and listening to old episodes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Big
So
Yeah.
all the content is worth the content.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's not going anywhere.
for us as well, we're learning while we're doing the show as well. So it's one day out of the week, like, what else could I ask for? Like,
Yeah.
I'm just going to sit here and fucking powwow with other artists about production.
Mm-hmm.
This is shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we learn tricks on the show. We learn it
Yep.
in our own time. We give it to the people
Mm-hmm.
because they deserve it. You know, we're not trying to keep any secrets
No.
over here.
No.
Nah, fuck that.
No.
Those days
We're
are
We're
done.
trying to expose the
Right.
secrets.
Yeah.
Right.
All you
Yes,
artists that are
exposing
holding on to
it.
the secrets, yeah, we're coming for you.
So how can people
Hey.
find you on the internet?
You can look up 444 Inlakesh on Instagram.
That's 444.
Not 400.
But it's close.
Close.
It's close. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you spell that? IN.
INLAKESH.
That's right. In
In
Lakesh.
Lakesh.
444
Yee.
in Lakesh.
Yeah, it's good to meet you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you for coming on the show. Thanks for everybody in chat. Thanks for the folks on the treadmills. Hit that subscribe
The
button.
folks on the treadmills, we know you're there.
Trick the algorithm.
Yeah.
We could use it. This spreads word of mouth. We love you, folks. We'll see you next week.
Later, everyone.